Good morning everybody, good morning, my name is Crystal, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is Sunday. I hope everybody had a great weekend last night. If you went out, I hope you had a great time. If you stayed indoors, I hope you had a nice time and relaxed. Today is Sunday. The weather outside just looks like it is overcast. I can't see the sun at the moment, but that might change during the afternoon. Yesterday it was really hot and it was quite sunny. I didn't really go anywhere. I took Max for a walk 3 times, so I had a walk and I saw some nice boats on the Rochester Riverside water. Since going up to see my mother, my mood has changed dramatically and I am trying to get myself out of it. This is what happens every time I go up to see my mum. I have been known to be in tears because what my mum says affects my mindset. And what she says is upsetting, and I have been known to burst into tears. A few years ago when my dad was alive as well, I used to come home and burst into tears. My mood just changed. The way I was treated. My father used to swear at me and tell me to F off, and my mother just rants and rants and rants, and she's been doing it since 2008, and as she's got older it's obviously got worse and it affects my mind. So when I got back home Wednesday night I was fine, but when I woke up Thursday morning I felt really upset. Because I think when someone rants and rants and rants and you switch yourself off, which I did, I switched myself off. The next day your mind has had time to register what that person has said, and it really had a deep impact on my mood Thursday and Friday and yesterday. I wanted to go up and give my mum a birthday present, and I ended up getting a massive headache and feeling like shit. Never mind, I'm going to try and get over it. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what the fuck is going on since I've been born actually. So good morning everybody. It is overcast here in Rochester, Kent. I've got up this morning just after 8 and I go in the bathroom, splash my face and all that kind of thing, feed my pets and animals, and I'm going to try and get back to the way I was before I went up to see my mother. I don't want to be manipulated, I don't want to be cross, I don't want to be miserable, I don't want to hide away. And I was getting outside and I was enjoying myself, and now I've got to work at building myself back up to the way I was. I don't want to be this puppet where everybody laughs and humiliates me and finds it funny when I've got nothing to eat and I'm in dire straits. Everything's been worked out now, so as from the end of next week I should be okay. So I've only got to go this week. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I should be fine. Still going to be a struggle, it's not going to be perfect, but I'm going to be back on my feet, so to speak, by the end of next week. And now I've got to learn, instead of living every 2 weeks, to cope with finances every month. So monthly instead of bi-weekly. So I'm going to get paid every month, where I was getting paid every 2 weeks basically. It's been taking a lot of getting used to. I got something to eat yesterday, so I'm not starving. I'm not a thief. I don't know what's happening with the co-op, but their stock is like limited and low, especially if the things I used to get and I used to like. The coffee wasn't there, neither were the jelly babies. That sort wasn't there, so I had to get another delivery, and it was fine, but everything is overpriced and it doesn't last very long. So I'm just going every couple of days, whatever I need I'll get. So I got toilet rolls yesterday. I'd ordered some cat litter because the cat litter's run out. Normally I get a 2 weekly shop and get the cat litter. So I've not had any shopping deliveries in a while, as in, you know, Sainsbury's, Tesco lorries coming out here. I haven't. I've just had little shops off Deliveroo until I get back on my feet. Last night I went out with Max and someone murmured something out of the window, usual bullshit, but I was feeling like shit and it made me feel worse. With gang stalking, that's what they want you to do. They want you to feel miserable. They want to isolate you. They want to keep you indoors under their control. You see, it's the neighbours and people around here that are trying to keep me under control. Why? I don't know. It's got worse ever since I met that Charlie bloke that lives near the Masonic Lodge in Rochester, and I told him believing he was going to be a friend to me, what was going on, and it's got incredibly worse. When I went to see the doctors and he was typing it all down that the weed was affecting my breathing, that I needed to move because there was really heavy weed use, it's actually got worse again. It's got incredibly worse, and this is what happens every time I speak to the camera, I speak to somebody, what I say comes out. So it's not my fault, is it? I mean, who's done this to me? Every time I speak or say something, it happens. Who's done this to me? Who's done this to me? I saw a van with plug-in baby going down the road the other day. Plug-in baby. And my mother used to talk about plug-ins. Plug-ins. It's all my mother. This is all my mother. My mother's world. She used to call the royal family ewes. She used to say they were EWEs, ewes, and sheep. I don't understand her way of thinking. I don't understand her speech. It's not mine. I'm not Jennifer. There was a car with Lopez. Lopez is the number plate, and her name is Jennifer, and she accused me of copying her on Wednesday. I'm trying to copy her. Jennifer Lopez is in her 50s. She's my age. She's not 79. Jennifer is 79. So there was a car with Lopez as the number plate. And then you've got MM. Marshall Mathers, M&M. That's what his name is. Marshall Mathers. That's Eminem's real name. Marshall Mathers. MM. There's a car up there with MM on it the other day. Right next to the Lopez car. Lopez. It's made up bullshit, guys. It absolutely is made up bollocks. You've got people parking on the pavement and not the road. There's no police. It's absolute bullshit, isn't it? It's crap. It's lies. Lying to me. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. On this day in 1953, Aviation pioneer Jackie Cochran became the first woman to break the sound barrier. She pioneered women's aviation as one of the most prominent racing pilots of her generation.
Alexa, what's the time, please?
Good morning, Crystal. It's 8:22 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Sunday, the 18th of May.
Alexa, what's the weather outlook?
In Rochester, it's 10 degrees Celsius with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect intermittent clouds, with a high of 20 degrees and a low of 9 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
Have you heard about the time the Mona Lisa was arrested for murder? It turned out she'd been framed.
Alexa, whose birthday is it today?
Today is in 15 hours, 37 minutes, and 7 seconds.
Alexa, who was born on this day?
Celebrities born on the 18th of May include Pope John Paul II, Tina Fey, Priscilla Pointer, John Higgins, and Bertrand Russell.
Right. So, Alexa, what's the temperature for the rest of the week?
In Rochester for the next 7 days. Monday, 19 degrees Celsius and lots of sun. Tuesday, 21 degrees and lots of clouds. Wednesday, 19 degrees and showers. Thursday, 18 degrees and partly sunny weather. Friday, 19 degrees and lots of clouds. Saturday, 19 degrees and partly sunny weather. Sunday, 20 degrees and showers.
Oh, we're going to get showers next weekend. Some rain. Some well-deserved rain as well. So it's overcast today, but it's warm, but overcast. So there you go. So yeah, I went out last night with Max, and we had a slow walk up to the fields, and since that woman snapped at me about the camera being in her face, I'm trying to point the camera out the way of people, you know. But if people are in the viewpoint of the camera, I can't help that. I'm just vlogging my day, and I have to do that for my safety, because they'll start letting dogs jump on me again. So the camera's for my safety, and I will keep holding the camera for my safety in and out of the building when I don't feel safe, to protect myself and evidence in case, you know, it needs to go to court one day. So I'm holding the camera and I'm walking up to the fields, and it's fairly quiet, hardly anybody on there to start with, and not till I'm coming home. So in the afternoon, I'd had a bald-headed man with big ears cycle behind me on a bicycle, and I felt it was that close to me, and then he parked on the railings. And they do that, they will do things to spark your anger, and then you start talking to them, and then some of them put their hands on you and say, oh, don't worry about that, never mind. So I never said a word to him. I never said a word, because my dad used to do that to me. He used to shout at me, mistreat me, and then he would come down the stairs and say, it's all right, Ginestra, it's all right, and then he would sexually assault me. So I don't fall for that. I'm not getting into arguments with people. I don't want to get into a conversation. So I walked away from that guy. There was another guy holding a camera, and his name was Sean, because he posted a picture. He obviously, they also get jealous. So I've lived here for 4 or 5 years, and I've been taking photographs for 4 or 5 years, and I've been posting them onto my Facebook page, and I don't get many likes on them, about 3 or 4, and they're really decent photographs as well. They're worth going in a book. But they'll post one picture and they'll get hundreds of views. And this has been going on for ages as well. They don't want me to become successful, get anything published, or be somebody. So they will try and stop that. That's why they hack into your phones, and they're listening to your conversations and reading your text messages. I just know they are, and other people do. They've hacked into famous celebrities' phones, and they do that. So they know where you are, what you're doing, inside and outside of your mind, your mindset, and they try and manipulate and control. They don't want you to become successful. They want you to be isolated, so that, in my case, they're just asking me for filthy photographs. They're perverts. And some of them are in foreign countries, right from Nigeria. I've had people from Turkey. I've had people from America just asking for dirty photographs. So this is porn. This is pornography and exploitation. And also blackmail. Have you done some photographs yet? No, you're not getting any. They make my life worse. They keep making noises, making me feel, in quotes, ugly, because they want filthy photographs. They think that if I feel shitty, I'm going to pump out photographs to Facebook, which they can pinch with a bit of cleavage, you know. And then why the Daily Mail publishes celebrities like Amanda Holden with hardly any clothes on, because Amanda Holden's in her 50s. Alexa, how old's Amanda Holden?
Amanda Holden is 54 years old.
She's 2 years younger than me, Amanda Holden, so really her hair's grey. It's not blonde, it would be grey. You see what I mean? And they're dressing them up in bikinis and you know, half naked, after they've stolen pictures off of my Facebook. They do steal pictures off my Facebook, it's not madness, and then they send them to me, what they've stolen. This guy's in different countries. I find it annoying, irritating. It's not only happened to me, it's happened to men as well as women. They steal your content, they steal your life story, and they print it for somebody else. They won't let me speak, they won't let me do a podcast with somebody, they won't let me go on TV. I tried to go on the Jeremy Kyle show. His show got axed before I was planning to go on there. And it was axed because that man committed suicide. They will not let me become successful. So I tried to get onto TikTok. It helped me relieve stress. By the way, I'm not doing a live stream today. I'm going to leave it until the old people have gone and we get a new set of people. Right, because they'll keep waiting and thinking I'm doing a live stream, and I'm not going to. Right, not until I've probably moved as well, because I've got a feeling that some of these people around where I live are coming into my live stream, and they're obviously copying, and it's not me. So no live streaming today, none at all. I would have started a live stream at 9 o'clock after I'd got this video to start uploading, but you know, I'm sick and tired of this fake make-believe bullshit, and I'm not getting paid, and I'm sick and tired of being used, and I can't see who I'm talking to. Could be anybody. It could be somebody I've jilted, somebody, an ex that's watching me and stalking me. It could be anybody. So I'm, for the moment, no live streaming. None at all. I don't believe it's real. I think this is all fake. I mean, they're parking on the pavement. They're doing what they like. Is it the mob? Is it the mafia? The mob? People are walking into shops stealing. They're doing what they like. They're smoking drugs everywhere. And it is illegal in Great Britain to smoke weed in a public place. And they're just doing what they fucking well like. There's no rules. And it's been like this since I've come down to Chatham in 2008. People driving uninsured, dangerous on the streets. Supposed to be traffic police about, but they're just like noddy and big ears in police cars, like thick as fuck. Just ignoring danger. Are they? And another thing I learnt yesterday from somebody who's gang stalked themselves is they will set up police scenarios near where you live to frighten the shit out of you so you don't go there. And what were they doing the other day? Cordoning off the Rochester Riverside field where I walk my dog. Just two small, like community service police. A small little policewoman and a small male policewoman. They do that to frighten you so you don't go there. And I had to walk down the busy high street with Max, and you've got a risk of getting run over. Knocked down. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
To flourish. At Tesco, we keep every strawberry warm during the day and cold during the night to ensure they develop the sweetest flavour. It may seem like a little thing, but to us, it's everything. Now, if you don't mind, the strawberries are sleeping. Tesco, every little helps.
Summer is precious, so make this the summer with EasyJet Holidays. Book the perfect package holiday from just £299 per person at hand-picked 4- and 5-star hotels. Search EasyJet Holidays. Get out there. Price based on 2 adults for 5 nights. Limited availability. ASL protected. T's and C's apply.
Darren could get an offer from a random car dealer. Or sell direct to We Buy Any Car. The dealer could come to his home, kick his tyres, then decide not to buy it. Or he could get a guaranteed sale, leaving more time to take his other half on a romantic getaway. Oh no. Or ooh la la. To get a quote in 30 seconds, enter your reg number now on WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Good boy, but
When you're smiling. Banning Dental Group Clinics. With over 5,000 top-rated Google reviews. Keep on smiling.
This is LBC. Message Matthew Wright on WhatsApp now. 0345 6060 973.
Student nurses, they have to pay £9,500, or they will be paying £9,500 by this autumn for their tuition fees. And then they have to work 12.5-hour shifts for free as part of their studies. And at the end of it, there's no job. Rob's on the line from Maidstone. Morning, Rob.
Morning, Matthew. So I'm terribly sorry, but this is going to be very dry. The problem is not the people part of this, it is the business part of this.
I'm hearing this, so a couple of people, even Ollie just now from Young Minds, have alluded to the pay structures or the reward structures within NHS Trust. Far away, what are your thoughts?
So what happens is that the NHS is decentralised. We have all these trusts. Those trusts have to contract in services to give us our healthcare. Those contracts include a part that is for human resources.
Yeah.
And this isn't just nurses, this also happens with GPs. If you remember, we had 6,000 GPs without work, but they couldn't be employed because the contracts that were made with the GP surgeries limited the financial part of that was for people to buying in other ancillary services, practice nurses, physiotherapists, pharmacists and all those things. They weren't allowed to hire in GPs. Once West Street Team went back to that contract with the GPs, suddenly we can employ an extra 1,200 GPs in under a year. So what happens is that the hospitals or the hospital trusts have an amount of money they're allowed to spend, and that is divided up into capital, into the staffing costs and all the rest of it. Because they had a shortfall, what the last Conservative governments did is said, well, you can now go into your capital budget to bring in bank nurses or short-term contracts. That takes out the money we need to be putting into the infrastructure.
It's really expensive to do that.
Really expensive, and doesn't give nurses a secure role, because that contract might be for a year, 2 years, or 3 years.
You clearly know what you're talking about, Rob. I don't know whether you work within the health service yourself, but how is this situation fixable? Because I'm always cautious about using any sort of mental health terminology, because it can be easily overused, but it does sound insane, the situation. It just doesn't make any sense at all. I was aware of some parts of this story, but when it's all joined together, I mean, it's insane.
Well, it is, and I mean, I've been a business consultant, I've owned my own business, I've done stuff in the NHS, my mum was a nurse, so I've seen this deterioration over years. If we understand that there are certain things that cannot be done at a local level, so that's why the workforce planning was so important. We have a group of people who are going to need help, we are all going to need it at some point, and we need to therefore have a certain amount of nurses. It cannot be in a situation where a manager has to make a decision between buying a new scanner for a trust and employing bank nurses.
Yeah.
We used to have bank nurses internally, so nurses who already work for the NHS could go forward and say, we want to do extra shifts. That has been outsourced. We've now made that into private companies, which of course have a profit motive, and that's, you know what, I'm not going to slam businesses trying to do their thing, but it means that it increases the cost. What would make the most sense was to be able to say that workforce plan will be funded through central government, not part of the contracting process for services.
Can I ask you just, you might be able to help me out with this, because for years I've been aware that we have 30,000 nursing vacancies going begging in the NHS, sort of anyone, so it's been like that for years. But if the trusts aren't actually actively filling those jobs, is it fair to say that there are 31,000 nursing jobs going begging? We are. Was it more accurate to say we are short of 31,000 nurses? The jobs aren't actually going begging.
Well, the jobs aren't going begging because often the contracts don't allow them to be filled. So it isn't. So it's like I mean, a friend of mine recently finished her mental health degree, and she's gone into mental health nursing in her late 20s, early 30s. It took 9 months for her to get a job in one of our local trusts when they are advertising hundreds of roles. And the reason was that the particular thing she went into was not funded through the trust itself. It was a contracted out thing that the trust had to do because they don't have enough budget to actually design the services.
Rob, if I thought it was bonkers before, my opinion has only become more extreme thanks to your call. I really appreciate you talking us through that and your counsel. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. Now then,
Right, guys, I'm going to get on with the rest of my day. The whole world is bonkers. Bonkers Britain. See you later.